You know that feeling when you finish a book and think, this changes everything? Then a week later, you're back to your old habits, and nothing has changed at all. The problem isn't the book. It's that most self-improvement books are written like instruction manuals, when what you actually need is a framework that sticks with you. Today we're looking at 5 books that don't just tell you what to do. They rewire how you think about yourself, your goals, and what's actually possible. These are the ones people come back to, the ones that sit on your shelf and you actually reread. Let's start. Number 5, Atomic Habits by James Clear. If you've heard of this book, it's because it works. The core idea sounds simple. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Most people focus on the outcome. I want to be fit. I want to write a book. I want to make more money. But Clear argues, that's backwards. Your habits are the compound interest of your life. A 1% improvement every day sounds small. Over a year, that's 37 times better. The framework he teaches is called habit stacking. You attach a new habit to an existing one. You want to drink more water? After you pour your morning coffee, you drink a glass of water. After you sit at your desk, you write 100 words. It sounds almost too simple, but that's the point. Who it's for? Anyone who has tried to change and fallen back into old patterns. Anyone who feels stuck. Number 4. The Courage to be Disliked by Kishimi and Koga. This one's different. It's written as a dialogue between a philosopher and a young man, and it's based on the work of psychologist Alfred Adler. The big idea that stops people is this: your past does not determine your future. This book argues that you're not broken because of what happened to you. You're held back because of the meaning you assign to what happened. Adler calls this teleology. You're not shaped by your past. You're pulled toward your future. The person you become is a choice, not a consequence. One concept that hits hard: the separation of tasks. Your job is to do the work. Other people's approval is their task, not yours. You cannot control whether someone likes you. You can only control whether you show up as yourself. Who it's for: people stuck in victim narratives. People afraid of judgment. Anyone who needs permission to stop seeking approval. Number 3. Thinking, Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. Kahneman is a Nobel Prize winner in economics, and this book is dense with research. But the payoff is worth it. The central framework is deceptively simple. Your brain runs on 2 systems. System 1 is fast, automatic, emotional. System 2 is slow, deliberate, logical. Most of your day you're operating on System 1. You're pattern matching and reacting. The problem is, System 1 is full of blind spots. You have confirmation bias. You see what you expect to see. You have availability bias. You overweight what comes to mind easily. You suffer from the planning fallacy. You underestimate how long things will take. Once you understand how these shortcuts work, you start catching yourself. You slow down. You ask better questions. You make better decisions. Who it's for: anyone making important decisions. Leaders. People who want to understand why they think the way they do. Number 2. Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Frankl was a psychiatrist who survived Nazi concentration camps. This book is short, maybe 2 hours of reading, but it contains something most self-improvement books are missing: perspective. Frankl's argument is radical for self-help literature. Happiness is not the goal. Meaning is the goal. When you have meaning, you can endure almost anything. When you lack meaning, nothing is enough. He observed prisoners in the camps. The ones who gave up first weren't always the weakest. They were the ones who lost a sense of purpose. The ones who survived longest were the ones who had something to do, someone to care for, a book to finish, a belief to hold. The framework Frankl offers is this: life asks you a question, and your job is to answer it with the way you live. That's not motivational speak. That's a foundation for everything. Who it's for: anyone feeling hollow despite success. Anyone questioning why they're doing what they're doing. Anyone who needs to remember that struggle can be meaningful. Number 1. The Effective Executive by Peter Drucker. Drucker is considered the father of modern management, and this book was published in 1967. It's older than most self-help books, which is exactly why it holds up. The reason: Drucker doesn't care about motivation or mindset. He cares about what actually works. He studied effective executives and reverse-engineered their habits. The core finding is this: effective people are not necessarily smarter. They are more disciplined about where they spend their time. They ask 5 questions. What am I doing that doesn't need to be done? What should I be doing that I'm not? What should I do less of? What should I do more of? What am I uniquely positioned to do that creates disproportionate value? Drucker calls this contribution. You're not valuable because you're busy. You're valuable because of what you contribute. Most people spend their lives on incremental gains instead of asking whether they should be doing the task at all. Who it's for. Anyone managing their own life or leading others. Anyone who feels busy but unproductive. Here's what these 5 books have in common. They're not about motivation. Motivation fades. They're about systems, frameworks, and fundamentals. Atomic Habits builds systems. Courage to be Disliked reframes your psychology, thinking. Fast and Slow upgrades your decision-making. Man's Search for Meaning anchors you in purpose. The Effective Executive teaches you to work on what matters. If you read just one, pick the one that addresses your biggest struggle right now. But the real magic happens when you read several and let them build on each other. The links to all these books are in the description. And if you're the type of person who reads nonfiction to change how you think, you'll want to subscribe. We do this every week.